When I first come in those big steel doors out there, I thought to myself, what have I done? And I literally thought I would die right here at Brushy Mountain Prison.
Robert Gibson is a free man. Got out of prison in 2011, but he had good reason to think he would die here. In the late 1970s, a murder conviction sent him to Brushy with a 99-year sentence, and death lurked around every corner.
The most violent place in Tennessee you could be. I've seen many men stabbed and beat to death right here in this breezeway. Get trapped in here, and somebody on that end where they couldn't get out. You can't get away. If you're a snitch and you run your mouth and those type of things, eventually somebody's gonna get to you.
When Gibson arrived at Brushy, he was 18 years old and illiterate. But he read the situation. He could be predator or prey.
I was wicked, had a wicked heart, wicked mind, wicked thoughts. You see those vents back there? We would take those vents off and make homemade knives out of them.
This institution here is the worst place on earth. They perpetrating murders up here.
You've got people with 150 years.
That's Gibson in 1978, from a WBIR story he never saw in prison, until now.
Wow, ain't that something? I don't. Hey, now some of these guys right here, and I'm telling you, some dangerous guys now, buddy.
Warden Stoney Lane gave WBIR unprecedented access for a brutally honest look at life at Brushy, where 3 inmates were recently killed.
And that's certainly 3 too many, but in the type of atmosphere and the type of confinement you have, it's not surprising.
Stoney Lane was one of the best wardens that ever come into Brushy Mountain Prison. Did his job, was the warden, but he treated men like men.
Lane's mutual respect for inmates made him extremely popular. But his replacement, Herman C. Davis, had an unforgiving reputation.
Nobody had no respect for Herman C.
And Gibson says the approach added sparks to an explosive environment. After a couple of years of inmate attacks, paybacks, and building tension, 2 groups were ready to kill each other.
It wound up being kind of a black and white thing, but it wasn't racial. It just happened to be black and white.
The prison sent the black inmates to Nashville to split up the groups. But in 1982, the warden brought the same men back to Brushy.
And put them right in the same unit with us. So there we are. You got a choice. We would cut our bars out. That's where Hacksaw's been cutting on that bar. You bend them 2 bars out, you can get a body through there.
Inmates hid the damage to the bars by filling the cuts with soap and paint. Gibson won't say exactly who or how, but someone smuggled a gun inside the prison. And reports at the time say a guard was fired for failing a lie detector test.
You got crooked guards inside the prisons, and money will talk on the outside, money will talk on the inside.
In February 1982, Gibson and 6 others made their move. First, by taking the guards hostage.
You come out on him. You got a knife on him. Where can he go? What can he do?
But the guards were not their target.
Forced the guards to stay down there and tuck their keys, tuck a .25 automatic to the cells of these people. They were shot in their cells.
The black inmates were fish in a barrel. They shot and killed 2 men, then shot 2 others who found a way to survive.
Somebody shooting a .25 automatic at him. Well, he come up with a mattress backwards, and that's the only reason he lived, and I thank God he lived. If Herman C. Davis, if he would have came in, we was going to shoot him, and I thank God he didn't.
And after the shots were fired, the guards were set free and the prisoners surrendered without resistance.
This problem that erupted here Monday night didn't just come up overnight.
Even the guards say the warden knew or should have known that violence was about to occur.
They didn't tell me. If the officers knew, they should have done something about it.
While the warden and the guards were in their own power struggle, Gibson and the others were nicknamed the Magnificent Seven.
It was the first court appearance for the inmates.
This old footage of their first court appearance is damaged, but even with a bad tape, you can see enough to know they were not bothered by murder and kidnapping.
There I am, look at that. BJ, John Henry Brown, they're all dead.
Yeah, that's me, what it is. Oh, you ain't crazy.
That was me. I had a foolish heart, had a wicked heart, and until I met Jesus, that was me. And that's why I always say I deserved every day that I done in prison.
The shooting at Brushy tacked on decades to Gibson's sentence, and he spent the next 4 years in solitary confinement.
So people in prison were saying there's no hope for Robert Gibson. January 5th, 1988, I got born again. Not to get out of prison, but because I was a sinner.
Gibson says most people were skeptical that someone who was an absolute demon was suddenly trying to be an angel.
No, they didn't trust me overnight. They said, just wait on, just hold on, you'll see.
But Gibson learned to read by reading the Bible. And after many years as a model inmate who helped others do the right thing, the state released Gibson in 2011.
I do not deserve to be standing right here today, free in society with no more time. And the only reason that I am is because of Jesus. Only reason that I am. Don't deserve it. Don't deserve it. But he's good. He's a good God.
He still visits the inmates and ministers at the new prison in Morgan County as a man who genuinely changed his life from a violent predator to become a man who prays.
Brushy Mountain has a history. There's been many of them get killed. And I've seen that and experienced that, and don't want no more of it. You know, I've done my time, and I try to give society back positive from where I was negative.
In Morgan County, Jim Matheny, WBIR 10 News.